Okay.
Okay.
All right. So big 30th anniversary weekend. What does it mean to you to be able to be here to celebrate this weekend with everyone?
Well, every time I have a chance to come back to Grand Rapids, it's my pleasure because I love playing here. And to celebrate the 30th anniversary with them will be awesome. And I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah. What is it like to see your number hanging up in the rafters after all these years?
It's really tough to explain because you did so much for the team, you did so much for the community. But for me, it's very nice. I don't know how to explain it, but it's great.
Now, did you take anything that you learned here and applied it to the rest of your playing career and your scouting career?
Yeah, I had some good moment, and I see a lot of hockey. Obviously, we played a lot, but yeah, you always keep what you going through in your mind, and you try to get better at it. So I did, yeah.
Yeah. And how did you get into scouting how did that job come about?
Well, I played in St. Louis for 2 years, in 97, 98, and when I decided to become a scout, Larry Plow was the GM there when I played. He was still there when I retired. So I sent him an email, and he said, yeah, we're going to interview you and make sure that everything's okay, and we have nobody in the Quebec area. So he called me 2 days later. He said, no interview. We're going to hire you right away. So that's how I got the job. And it's been 18 years now.
Yeah. Now, what has been the most rewarding part about being a scout?
What is this?
What has been the most rewarding part about being a scout?
Oh, it's when we draft a player that we want. That's it, yeah.
And then the final one from me, you're from Quebec City. You played in the tournament twice, right?
Yeah.
How important is it for the future of hockey to have youth tournaments of that caliber?
Well, it's very. I think they have like 140 teams over there, and the rink is packed, and it's great for the kids, and they know right away how it is to play against a lot of people. So I'm sure they always, they're going to remember that for the rest of their lives, and that's going to help them in the future.
Yeah, is that a big scouting ground for a lot of scouts? I know maybe not in the NHL, but like the OHL, QMJHL.
Maybe it is. I'm not sure. Maybe it is. I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
In your opinion, what makes Grand Rapids such a special hockey city?
I don't know, just the people around the rink. Not only the hockey people, but outside the rink. We met so many great people, and every time we come back, like we went for a walk this morning, we had dinner last night. Everybody recognizes you, so I don't know, it's great. It's awesome.
Does it surprise you to see how much it's grown since you played here?
Yes, I was saying that this morning. In '96, there was not much going on downtown, and went for a walk with my wife this morning. Restaurant, hotels everywhere. That's great.
What was your favorite memory from playing here?
My teammates, every one of them. Right to this day, I still miss going to the rink every day, have a coffee with them. That's the toughest part, and I still miss that.
All right. So, what is it like for you to see your number in the rafters? Has it kind of like gone away for you, the magic of it, or is it still magical?
No, it's really, really cool. And now that I live here, I'm from Minnesota, never made it back home. We come to concerts here. My kids come to concerts, and, I still have friends who will, take a picture of it and send it to me. So yeah, it means a ton for me. I spent a long time playing here. So yeah, I find it really, really cool.
Yeah. Now, did you learn anything from the Griffins that you were able to take into coaching and co-directing the Tier 1 team?
Yeah, I mean, you're always picking things up along the way. I've been playing hockey, 5 till 36, and what did I learn? Yeah, I think every day you're learning something new, trying to pass it on to young kids now. But yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel like the kids are more responsive, knowing that you were in the pros, or do they push back a little?
That's a really, really good question, because I think it does help a bit, because they kind of, if I'm saying something, maybe they know I've been there and I've done that, and I kind of let them know that too. But that's a really good question, and I think just for people, maybe it gives you a little more credibility that you played, at a higher level. I don't think it really affects you as a coach, but I think people perceive it does, which I think does help.
Yeah. And then how did owning Southside come about, and also becoming co-director of Fox Valley?
That's a really good question as well. So right when I retired, I started doing youth hockey stuff, and my partner Mike Slobodnik was at Walker Ice Arena. I was in Holland, and we somehow finagled it where we both, we kind of have similar viewpoints. We both got to Southside and started working together, and then we had an opportunity to purchase it in like 2012. So yeah, I still feel very fortunate. I get to go to the rink every day and hang out with, my buddies like I did when I was 5 through 36.
Yeah. Now, what has been the most rewarding part about working with youth hockey?
Oh, geez. That's another really good question. I mean, I think it's just watching them, turn into like solid young men. Hockey, you have to work so hard. It's so demanding, and I really think if you do those things well, you'll do well as a person. So that's kind of my main thing, is just try to do things the right way, do them as, hard as you can. And, and if you have talent, that'll take you to the next level. But yeah, just trying to teach them, work hard, be a good teammate, and enjoy the game.
Yeah, now you come from a family of hockey players, Todd and your nephew Justin, who both played in the pros, and he coaches. But what has it been like for all of you to just watch each other succeed throughout the years? Yeah,
no, it's pretty cool. Like, when I was here with the Griffins, my brother was a Solar Bear in Orlando. So, I mean, they knocked us out of the playoffs twice, I think. Once when we were amazing, and that still haunts me, actually. And so, I played against him a lot, and then he's been around in the, NHL coaching. His son's done very well. He's in Europe playing now. So yeah, our whole family, my sister has, her 2 sons played Division III hockey. My other sister, her daughter's at Gustavus in Minnesota playing hockey. So we're just kind of, all of us are kind of the one thing that brings us all back together.
Yeah, does that kind of help you stay motivated to stay in hockey and do well in hockey? Yeah,
I mean, I just love, like I said, it's, the doing well for me is just watching kids progress into good young men or women. To me, that's what success is. And it's been fun. We've had some really good players come through, and it's been very enjoyable.
In your opinion, why do you think Griffins hockey's lasted these 30 years?
I mean, it's incredible, and how they still draw the way they did. Like I was here day one, and I mean, it was just amazing. Like we had 11,000 people every game, and then to see how that's not quite sustained to that level, but close. And I think a lot of it's the facility. It's the best place to play in the American Hockey League for sure. And I think when we, came downtown, there wasn't much around, and it was a cool thing to do. And then now the restaurants and everything came around it. And yeah, it's been awesome to watch and see.
Does it surprise you how much the city's grown since day one?
Oh my gosh, yeah. And I remember driving, when I signed, I drove by myself with my dog, and I stayed at the Pearl Street. What hotel is that right to the right? I forget what kind of, and I just stayed there and didn't really know what to do, and went and found an apartment in Rockford. And then next thing you know, now there's, you can't see Van Andel driving in from my house now, and there's just buildings everywhere and restaurants, and it's really awesome to see.
What was your favorite memory playing here?
Oh, geez. I mean, for me, it always just revolves around, the guys, like meeting Michel Picard and Derek King and Bruce Rand, Todd Nelson. I don't know if it's a moment on the ice for me. It's always just the people you met, the relationships you had. And quite, not in a bad way, but kind of, but like most of my memories are haunting because we never won. And all I wanted to do was win. And we were so close so many times. So, most of my memories, are, like I said, it was against my brother losing in triple overtime to Orlando in game 1 and just setting the tone where we probably should have won it. So those things stick in my mind quite a bit.
After knowing Todd Nelson back then and seeing the success he has now, does it surprise you?
No. Just a great human, just a great team guy. He's a huge fan of his, and you meet a lot of good people in hockey, boy, and he was one of the best, and the success he's had has been amazing, actually, at the coaching level.
What is it like getting back together with these 3 guys, only 3 guys with their numbers in the rafters?
Yeah.
What's that like for you?
Yeah, it's cool. Like me and Pick, we were roommates on the road. My wife and his wife, Sonia, were very close. So they're out having lunch right now. And we met them for dinner last night, but I mean, quite frankly, I had probably only seen them 3-4 times in the last however many years because, Quebec to here, it's hard, So, yeah, that's been a lot of fun. Hoagie was kind of younger than me, so I didn't really play against him. But, all I've heard is, just back again, the greatest human. I thought Brad, what a leader, what a guy, And I've gotten to know him a little bit, and that's, doesn't surprise me at all.
Okay. All right. So, what is it like for you to see your number in the rafters, even all these years later?
Oh, well, it's pretty recent still, right? And I work with the volleyball team out of Omaha, so the team comes back here and they say, "We saw your jersey hanging," and to see it. Obviously, it's humbling. You think of all the great players that have been through Grand Rapids, and to be a part of the, associated with Picard and Richie. To come back here and see that, and you think, my friends joke you'll be dead and buried, and your jersey's still hanging up there, and I'm like, that's a good way to look at it. That's pretty, makes you, feel pretty special. So, obviously those were great years here in Grand Rapids, and it's nice to get back and be part of this tonight. Yeah.
Did you take anything from the Griffins, and were you able to apply it to coaching?
Of course, all 16 years of hockey, but those teams, when you win a championship, the culture that you create within the dressing room, huge part of that is I try to instill, and even some of the systems we used, definitely is something that you always share with the kids these days. Sorry.
Yeah. How did coaching come about for you?
Oh, pretty much naturally, I guess. There was opportunities right when I was done playing to consider. You play that game that long, there was kind of just looking to get home and create some normalcy for my sons. And then when they started, getting pretty decent, it was like, okay, I want to get my hands involved here. And then just, it kind of came naturally. The love of it, I'm really enjoying it now. And, I think hockey, obviously you circle back in another role eventually. But yeah, I love coaching and love coaching my kids even more than playing myself, to be honest.
Yeah, and what has been the most rewarding part about being a coach?
Seeing the growth, seeing the development, seeing kids respond. When you first get into it, and then a couple of years later, and then you get a thank you from, the kid that went on to college or advance, and them being appreciative. It just makes you feel like, oh, that time was worth it for sure. So that's a huge part of coaching. Yeah.
Now you went to University of Nebraska Omaha, right?
I did.
Okay, so if you could talk about the importance of hockey in Nebraska. A lot of people kind of sleep on the area, but there's been a lot of people that have come out of that program and just out of hockey in general.
Yeah, it continues to grow. I was one of the first to be able to play pro at UNO. I left in 2003, and now you're starting to see more and more guys. Jake Gensel is probably the biggest name to come out of Nebraska, Omaha. But you got the USHL, you got Division I. Gordie Howe actually played in Omaha. He's in the Omaha Hockey Hall of Fame, and nobody can't make that connection when Detroit kind of had that affiliation there. But Omaha is sneaky, kind of a hockey town, and again, now you're starting to see it with the youth program and players coming up, so it's exciting and great for the Midwest. Yeah,
how important is it to the growth of hockey for people to kind of put their eyes on an area like Nebraska?
Yeah, it's important, right? I think sometimes the scouts might overlook. They call it the flyover state, but when guys are in those hockey roles and stopping in to check out the USHL and obviously Division I, hockey's getting bigger in Omaha, and that's obviously great for the youth and great for the city.
What is it about Griffins hockey that's made it last these 30 years?
Oh, wow. Just kind of hearing the stories with Pickstock and Richie, and you kind of see obviously the culture of winning, and I think it comes from obviously they support sports here in the community, and hockey's a big part of that, but that sense of community, it was, it's a lot of unmatched to the team. I played on a lot of teams, but here, maybe I was getting older and the family focus was big and how they were embraced, but I think that carries on when you're at the rink. Like just now, we got 3 old guys here. They call them legends, but it's more like dinosaurs. But the group of fans that came out just to thank us for those years, and it kind of speaks on why it's lasted 30 years and it's going to keep lasting forever. So that's probably what I noticed most.
Does it surprise you how much the city's grown?
Yeah, I couldn't really see it in the snowstorm. I was kind of driving through last night, but certainly, I think, with the kids, they started playing hockey there at Southside with Richie and didn't get to buy it. But yeah, I mean, city's going to grow. Obviously, yeah, I think our ownership group's part of that. It's whatever our city needs, it keeps getting bigger. And I say "our" and I'm part of it, but I'm not here anymore. That's funny. But yeah, no, it's pretty nice to see.
Obviously, your numbers in the rafter, but there's that championship banner too. Which one are you more proud of?
Well, I mean, it was always team. I mean, it was unceremonious career, and right, it's almost, yeah, like I said, humbling, but oh my, wow, right? You think of all those names and you look up and made sure to bring my sons. My wife was busy at another hockey tournament with my younger boy, and I'm like, well, I love the fact to be able to share that with family, right? And obviously that's kind of the biggest takeaway there, but the championship banner is big. You think of the guys, you think of all those guys that you rode the bus with and were grinding with, throughout the season. So they both have their impact, but I'd probably put that championship banner up there a little bit above the personal one.
What do you miss the most about it?
Oh, I miss every part of it. The biggest takeaway from hockey for me was the relationships, and being inside in that grind with the guys. And I think most players will say that. There's a little bit of lost direction after you're done playing. Like, what do I do? Or where are the guys? And, you lose that comfort of being around them. So that's probably what I miss the most, and finding a profession or being close to the game now to kind of recapture that and be around like-minded guys. But yeah, that's what I miss the most.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so